the next unit we are going to start, that is Unit 3. Statistical Thermodynamics 2. In the last unit, the last topic we have studied ortho and para-hydrogen. Now it will start the next unit, that is Unit 3, Statistical Thermodynamics 2, in which the first topic is Fermi-Dirac statistics. This is next to Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. In Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics, the individual particles are considered to be distinguishable. That means that can be differentiated. Okay, that will differ with one another. But here, in the case of Fermi-Dirac statistics, the indistinguishable particles are studied. That is, all the particles are same. Usually, particles are associated with spins which may be integral or half integral. Those with half integral, okay, with half integral like 1 by 2, 3 by 2, 5 by 2, etc. Okay. See, the particles which have half integral spin, these particles wave function will be antisymmetric, and these particles are called fermions. So what is fermions? Particles having odd mass number. Okay, they are having odd mass number are called fermions. Or we can say these nuclei of atoms having odd mass are called fermions. They obey Fermi-Dirac statistics. The example for fermions is electrons, protons, we have neutrons, helium-3 nucleus, okay, helium-3 nucleus, F19 nucleus, Cl35 nucleus, etc. These are all examples for fermions. They have odd mass number. Electrons, protons, neutrons, that is helium with a mass number 3 nucleus, and fluorine 19 nucleus, chlorine 35 nucleus, they are all called fermions, and these nucleus obeys Fermi-Dirac statistics. Now, in the Fermi-Dirac statistics, the wave function is antisymmetric with respect to interchange of particles, and fermions are particles with half integral spin, okay, in which the total number of protons and electrons and neutrons are odd. Okay, the number of protons, neutrons and electrons has an odd value. And each molecular quantum state can be occupied by no more than one molecule at a time. Particularly fermions, will occupy not more than one particle in each and every energy level. Okay? For example, the N1 particles, if we consider N1 particles occupies even energy level. Similarly, N2 particles occupies E2 energy level, Ni particles occupies Ei energy level. See, if any one of the particle occupies in a degeneracy state, okay, in the Gi state, if one particle occupy Gi state, okay, then the second particle can be arranged in Gi minus 1 different waves. Okay, if one particle occupies Gi state, the second particle will occupy in the remaining Gi minus 1 different waves and different state, and so on. Okay, now what is the thermodynamic probability of occupying the different particles, fermions, in different energy levels? This is given by, say, the probability is given as Gi factorial divided by Ni factorial into Gi minus Ni factorial. That means the particles are indistinguishable and Ni particles can be arranged, okay, Ni particles can be arranged in Ni different ways. Ni particles are arranged, see, Ni particles are arranged in Ni factorial number of ways. Therefore, we must divide this by divided by Ni factorial to give the number of different or non-equivalent waves of arranging Ni particles. See, or I can write it as, this is for ith particle, the thermodynamic probability, that is Gi factorial, or I can write G1 for the first energy level, N1 factorial, G1 minus N1 factorial. Similarly, for G2, N2 factorial, G2 minus N2 factorial. I can going on write it down like this, depending upon the number of energy levels. Or I can write simply summation of energy levels from 1 to I, Gi factorial divided by Ni factorial divided by Gi minus Ni factorial. What is this actually? This is actually shows, meaning is thermodynamic probability is nothing but this is factorial of total number of compartments. Factorial of total number of compartments, and this is number of filled compartments. Number of filled compartments factorial and divided by number of compartments unfilled. This is Gi minus Ni shows the remaining compartments which is vacant. This is Ni factorial shows the compartment which is filled. Okay, this is the thermodynamic probability. Now, the most probable distribution, as we have studied in the case of Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution, the most probable distribution is obtained by taking condition d ln w is equal to 0. When we differentiate the logarithmic quantity of probability, it will be equal to 0. Then we will get by Fermi-Dirac statistics, Ni is equal to Gi divided by e power alpha, e power beta Ei plus 1. This is what we are going to derive now. This is the probability distribution of particles given by Fermi-Dirac. Now we are going to derive. Let me start with first equation. Now we have studied, that is the thermodynamic probability Gi factorial divided by Ni factorial divided by Gi minus Ni factorial. Now first what I am doing is, I am taking logarithm, taking log on both sides. When I take logarithm, ln w is equal to, okay, this is actually sigma 1 to I, sigma 1 to I Gi factorial, okay, minus ln Ni factorial minus ln for this Gi minus Ni. I have taken logarithm to this. Now we have to find out the solution for each term by using Stirling's approximation. We know what is applying Stirling's approximation. See, applying Stirling's approximation. In the starting of statistical thermodynamics, this unit, we have studied Stirling's approximation. What is Stirling's approximation? Ln n is equal to n ln n minus n. Okay, this is Stirling's approximation. Okay, now we are applying this Stirling's approximation to these terms and substituting in this equation. I will get ln w is equal to, okay, v summation of 1 to I Gi ln Gi for this and minus Gi minus for this Ni ln Ni minus Ni, okay, then minus for this Gi minus Ni ln GI minus NI minus GI minus NI. Okay, I am using the Snelling's approximation. So these three terms I have substituted in this equation. Then I am simplifying this. Now I can make it as sigma of 1 to I GI ln GI minus GI minus NI ln NI and minus into minus plus NI. Okay, and this is minus GI NI. Okay, minus GI NI into ln GI minus NI and minus into minus plus GI minus NI. Now what happens here? This plus GI minus NI minus GI minus NI can cancel. Sigma 1 to I GI ln GI minus NI ln NI plus, okay, minus this is not get cancelled. Yes, get cancelled. NI ln NI minus GI minus NI ln GI minus NI. Okay? Yes. This will get cancelled. See, this GI ln GI, NI ln NI minus GI minus NI ln GI, and this GI NI get cancelled. This is not, this get cancelled. Okay, you will get this. This is logarithm of probability. Now, I am differentiating this equation and taking this is as equation 1. Okay. Now I am differentiating equation 1 with respect to Ni. Okay, I am differentiating this equation with respect to Ni, then I will get d ln W is equal to, okay, summation of 1 to I, okay, will be minus Ni divided by 1 by Ni plus ln Ni minus GI minus Ni 1 by GI minus Ni minus ln gi minus ni into dn1. Okay, and this I have differentiated by u by v method. Then finally I will get sigma 1 to I, it will be equal to ln ni, this ni get cancelled and gi ni get cancelled. Then ln ni minus here we have minus ln gi minus ni into dn1. Okay, this is equation 2 and this is equation 3. This is d ln w. Now the value thermodynamic probability w is maximum. When we differentiate this, it will become equal to 0. Okay, since w is maximum, W is maximum here. Okay, when we differentiate it, then what happens? D ln W will be equal to 0. So therefore, I can write this equation 3 can be written as, okay, this 3 equation can be written as sigma 1 to I ln ni minus ln gi minus ni, it will be equal to 0. This is equation 4. But listen, see, but we know summation 1 to I dni is always is equal to 0. Okay, it will be always is equal to 0. And we already studied in the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution 1 to I ei dni will be equal to 0. When we differentiate ei dni, it will be equal to 0. Now this is now this equation is equation 5 and this equation is 6. Okay, this is 5 and 6. Now we are multiplying equation 5 by two arbitrary multipliers, that is alpha and beta, multiplying equation 5 by arbitrary multiplier, that is by alpha, and equation 6 by another arbitrary multiplier beta. Okay, I will get sigma of 1 to I, we have ln ni minus gi minus ni minus ln gi minus ni plus alpha plus beta into ei into d ni is equal to 0. This is equation 7. Okay, after multiplying this equation 5 and 6 by two arbitrary multipliers alpha and beta, we get this, and each term in the summation will be equal to 0. So therefore I can write this equation as ln, okay, Ni divided by Gi minus Ni will be equal to minus alpha minus beta Ei. Okay, because it is equal to 0, ln Ni by Gi minus Ni equal to minus alpha into minus beta Ei, or I can write this equation as as I am taking logarithm Ni, taking out the logarithm Gi minus Ni, then I have to use exponential minus alpha minus beta Ei, okay, or I can write this equation. I am inverting this. Ni will be equal to e power alpha plus beta Ei. Okay, or Gi by Ni. Okay, Gi by Ni. Ni by Ni will be equal to 1. When this minus 1 goes there, it will be plus 1. E power alpha plus beta Ei to be plus 1. Okay, see Gi by Ni. Ni by Ni will be equal to minus 1. When minus 1 goes there, it will be plus 1. Finally, I can write the number of, that is, from this equation, I can write Ni equal to Gi divided by e power alpha plus beta Ei plus 1. Okay? This is called, this equation is called, this is Fermi-Dirac equation. So this is called Fermi-Dirac equation, which gives the number of particles occupies in the ith energy level. So this is Gi waves in which it is distributed, and alpha and beta are nothing but the arbitrary multipliers, okay, plus 1. So we have arrived at the expression of Fermi-Dirac statistics. See, in the Fermi-Dirac statistics, the indistinguishable particles are considered, and this value gives the most probable distribution of particles occupying what is called as nth level. Usually the fermions obeys this Fermi-Dirac statistics using anti-symmetric wave functions. Okay, in the next class we will study about the last statistics, that is Bose-Einstein statistics. We will study in the next class.